Welcome to the News Pulse, where we track the forces shaping our world. Today, a major escalation in the US-China trade war. China has just announced it's hiking retaliatory tariffs on American goods significantly, pushing the conflict between the world's two largest economies into even more dangerous territory. Let's quickly recap how we got to this critical point. Responding directly to recent U.S. actions, China's Ministry of Finance declared on Friday that tariffs on a range of U.S. products will jump from 84% to a staggering 125%. These new rates take effect Saturday. This isn't just a minor adjustment, it's a forceful statement. The rhetoric accompanying these actions is sharp. A Chinese finance ministry spokesperson called Washington's repeated tariff hikes a joke in the history of world economics, accusing the U.S. of economic bullying. Beijing stated unequivocally that if the U.S. insists on harming China's interests, China will react resolutely and fight until the end. Adding action to words, China's Commerce Ministry announced it will file another complaint against the U.S. tariffs at the World Trade Organization. These tit-for-tat measures are sending shockwaves through global financial markets. Stocks and bonds have seen significant volatility, and fears of a global economic slowdown, or even recession, are growing louder. While Trump's temporary pause on tariffs for other nations provided some brief relief, the escalating conflict between the world's number one, US, and number two, China, economies keeps investors on edge. WTO Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala warned earlier this week that this trade war could severely damage global economic prospects. So, which specific U.S. sectors will feel the pain from China's new 125% tariffs? Key targets include agricultural products like soybeans, a major U.S. export to China historically, as well as aircraft and aircraft parts, and certain medicines. This directly impacts American farmers and manufacturers in these critical industries. On the flip side, the high U.S. tariffs, potentially up to 145% cumulative on some goods, primarily hit Chinese exports like consumer electronics, think computers and cell phones, along with industrial machinery, toys, and many other consumer goods. U.S. businesses relying on these imports face higher costs, and American consumers will likely see price increases on store shelves. It's not just about tariffs. China has also employed other measures recently. Last week, Beijing suspended imports of U.S. sorghum, poultry, and bone meal from certain companies. They've also imposed tighter export controls on rare earth minerals, elements crucial for many modern technologies, from smartphones to military equipment, potentially weaponizing their dominance in this area. The White House rationale behind these tariffs is primarily focused on protecting American industries and encouraging companies to bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States, reshoring. However, this is a politically risky strategy. Economists point out that such shifts take years, if they happen at all, and in the meantime, existing businesses and consumers bear the costs of the tariffs. The net effect on jobs remains highly debated. We are now deep into an escalation cycle with seemingly few easy off-ramps. Both sides appear dug in. Will this extreme pressure force one side back to the negotiating table with concessions? Or will it lead to further decoupling and potentially irreparable damage to the global trading system? The next moves from Washington and Beijing will be critical. This latest escalation marks a serious deepening of the US-China trade war, with significant consequences already being felt and potentially worse to come. The path forward is uncertain, impacting economies, businesses, and consumers worldwide. What are your predictions? Do you see a resolution, or further conflict? Share your thoughts and analysis in the comments below. For continued in-depth coverage of this crucial story and other global developments, be sure to subscribe to the News Pulse and click the notification bell. Thanks for joining us.